Let's have a quiet time before we start our channeling. As we relax our body and move upward in thought to the higher dimensions of love and light, let us turn loose of the physical world. Turn loose of the day and everything that has gone forth. And be here now. Live in this present moment. And this room is the total of the universe. Feel the vibrations of love as we lift our thoughts upward, and as the masters lift their thoughts, bring their thoughts down to touch ours and make the contact. And everyone in the circle is as much a part of the contact as the one who speaks. You're lending your life force to this circle of light and giving forth and bringing forth the message. You're drawing it from the higher realms of love and light just by your being here. Thank you, Father. Good evening, my dear ones. This is Don, coming to you from these realms of love and light. It is such a great pleasure to reach down to you as you reach up to us. We see your thoughts and your love that you send forth, and we merge with it to be one with you at this particular time. It has been decided and talked about that the one who speaks through these vocal cords will be this one that is speaking tonight, but that the Master and Alawa and many others are lending their love and their vibrations to this. And there will be occasions when a special one will speak. Tonight we have chosen the topic of realization. To bring forth the realization of your true being, it is important that you give up your belief in these lower levels that you call earth, and realize that they are truly illusion. To explain this, let me say to you that the only thing that holds these lower dimensions together is your belief in them. When you came from the Godhead and took your first thought separate from God, you came down through many dimensions, and as you are now, you are moving upward to go back to the Godhead. And this will take some of your time as you think of it, and you will go through many dimensions, many experiences on this physical plane, maybe still. But if you wish to speed up your growth, if you wish to be free of these lower dimensions of illusion, then you must realize the true nature of your being. My dear ones, the true nature of your being is the oneness that you are with the Creator of all that is. This oneness has never been separated. It is just in your thoughts and in your belief that you are separated. And when you took your first thought separate from God, then you took on the responsibility for yourself, and you dropped down into another dimension out of the Godhead, and have been coming down for some time, spiraling down through many, many dimensions, and have learned much through this. Now, your memory of all of this is not with you. Some of you have some of the memory, but for the most part, it is not with you. And you have closed off your understanding of your true nature because you carry around this heavy clay body, and you have to support it, and you have taken on what you call karma from your past beliefs that have held you down to these lower dimensions. Do not think that this is a negative message this evening, but I wish to explain to you that it is possible for you to make much growth in this lifetime, that it is possible for you to move very high in consciousness and be free of this earth plane and not have to come back into another incarnation, if this is what you wish. We here have come to you on Wednesday nights and work with you as individuals to help you to accomplish this. This is our goal in helping you to realize who you truly are, to have the realization and make it real to your understanding that you are God's, that you are not humans, you are just playing the role of humans. And as you have this realization, as it dawns on you of who you truly are, then you can still be in the physical and be a channel for God to work through. He works through us on these higher levels of love and light, and he works through many others on many other dimensions. And he can work through you, my dear ones, and does work through you while you're still in the physical. Every time that you send God's love, God is working through you. Every time that you think a loving thought and reach out to help another, God is working through you. I want you to have this realization. This season of Christmas is a season of giving gifts, and it is very symbolic of giving the truth as you understand it to others. When you reach down to help one who is asking for help, then you allow the God voice, the God life force to come through you. You release the personality, and you do not even think of what is happening. You just let it happen. You just be and allow the Father to work through you. He has allowed us to work with you from these lofty realms of love and light because of this particular time in your history of this planet. You are very fortunate in being in the physical, and we have told you this many times, but very few of you really see and understand the full realization of how valuable it is to be in the physical at this time. It is the most opportune time in the history of this planet, since this planet came into being, to be in the flesh and in the physical body. It is a time of great change, and you see these changes coming about daily. You see great changes coming about all over the world. And if you are reaching upward and working with yourself, you see changes in your consciousness and in others' consciousness. It is a beautiful sight to behold the changes that are coming about now. For some, it is a little too rapid, they feel, and they are confused about it and are not able to keep up, or feel that they are not able to keep up with the change, the rapid change. But I tell you, all you need to do is just relax and let God work through you. Let the love of God work through you. When you realize that God's love is the answer to all things, God's love is the key that brings about anything that you desire. God's love and light and healing power is prevalent on this planet in great abundance through those who are opening up to be a channel for God to work through. And there are many, many more than has been for thousands and thousands of years at this moment. More are open to allow the current of divine love and light and healing power to flow through them than for a long, long time. And as you grow and expand, you will become aware of many other groups all over the world. You will know that God's light is being brought down through these groups, and the understanding of truth is dawning, maybe slowly, but is coming about in many minds all over the world. Every day there are some who are awakening to the true reality of their being, just a little. And this little inspires them to do more and to reach out and ask for more. And as they do, more is given to them according to their ability to receive. My dear ones, you are so fortunate to have a program such as this is here and other places where you can build your foundation to stand upon and move higher in consciousness. It is very important that your foundation is strong and solid. And even though you have gone through the classes and you have worked with yourself, I would encourage you to continue to reinforce your foundation daily. Every day, reinforce the understanding that you have of the reality of life. This is bringing about the realization of your true being. As you move upward, as you learn to love unconditionally, as you learn to see with a single eye the truth of being, it is a great revelation. It is an exciting time. It is a beautiful, beautiful experience. And it is up to you, my dear ones, and no one else. All that we can do is to give you guidelines to go by, to explain the truth to you in your language as best we can. And then it is up to you to go within yourself and make the contact with the God within you with your teachers and your guides, and let this understanding become a reality in your consciousness. Consciousness is the substance of your individual being that is one with God. When you operate, let me start again. Your consciousness is on all levels. It is one with God and all of the dimensions that we talked about. But it is not active at this time when you are aware of the physical plane and maybe another plane or two above it. It is inactive, but it is there. And when you awaken and have the realization, you can move upward in consciousness and allow it to be activated by knowing the truth and seeing the truth, having the realization of your true being. Each day you could move up another dimension if you put just a little time of what you think of as time into working toward your understanding, to a greater understanding, taking the time to go within and asking for help, and to move into the light that dwells within the center of your being, and let the light show you the way. It is there, my dear ones. And if you have not made this contact with the light within you, then set aside some time each day to go within until you become aware of this light. The light is a symbol of understanding and wisdom. It is the voice of God speaking to you at all times. And if you are open, and if you allow yourself, you can hear this voice, maybe not in language, maybe not in words, but in knowing and in understanding, but sometimes also in words. Are there questions here this evening?
If you don't always hear it in words, if you ever heard it in words, then you are connected with that light, are you not? And you may not just hear it in words the next time it may come as a hum. Is that right?
That's right. It is an understanding. You see, it does not have to be in words. Words are very limiting. But when you get a realization, when the dawning of the light comes within you, and you have a greater understanding, and you maybe have been pondering on something and wondering about the real truth of it, and all of a sudden this comes into your mind, and you know that this is the answer. This does not have to be in words. It can be just an understanding.
We are one with people who live trillions and trillions and trillions of light years away, are we not?
This is correct. You are one with all the universe, one with all that is in the whole of creation, both the created universe and the uncreated universe, as you might think of it.
And everything is good, even when we slip and think we not move the head as fast as we should. That is there also for a reason, is it not?
Yes, and let me correct you, just if you will, please. Everything is. It is not good or bad, it just is. And when you come to this realization, then you do not have to put a label on it. Now, there are times when you miss the mark, we might say, and misunderstand, and or you take the reins in your own hands and say, I want to go this way, and you go away from the light, then you choose to do this, and this is all right because it is your choice, and you may have some hard knocks, but you will learn by this eventually.
We moved in cycles, though. We were not always up. We're not always at the epitome of our power.
Yes, and the cycles are, according to your thinking of time, a very, very long time. In the cycle of coming down to the lowest point and going back to the Godhead, it is such a length of time that is almost immeasurable in your thinking. But in truth, in eternity, there is no such thing as time or space. Everything is here and now. All of life, all of space, all of time is here and now, this moment. And when you come to this realization, when you understand and comprehend this, you see then you are not limited in any way. It is a goal worthy to work towards when you can realize that the whole universe, all of life, all of time and space, as you think of it, is right here and right now, this moment. So in true reality, there's no such thing as time or space. But you have allowed yourself to be trapped in this belief in duality, and so it is an experience that you have chosen to experience, and it will bear fruit because you will learn much from these experiences on these lower dimensions. And one of the main things that you will learn is that they are not real. They have no value in the sense of eternity, in the sense of the reality of life. This is what I am saying tonight. Have the realization of who you truly are. And as you do, then all of this falls away and you become one in consciousness again with God. This is not accomplished in a moment. It may come in a flash, but many, many years and lifetimes are behind that blinking of an eye when it comes to you. Are there other questions this evening?
I have one.
Yes.
You were talking earlier about how you go within and you'll see the light. And then Annabelle asked a couple of questions about that. And I thought, is it possible that sometimes we're expecting realization to come in a certain form, but really we have it and we don't realize that we have it?
This is true. Yes. And most cases it is true. We should not project how it should come. We should just be open and receptive. And whatever comes to us, be grateful for it, and more will be added to you. Yes, whenever we say, we are using the language again, which is very limiting, and whenever we say, go within and see the light, it does not always mean that you're going to see a light as this light lights up this room. It could come in other forms. It could come in other ways. It is a symbol. Light is a symbol of understanding and wisdom. And to say, I see the light, means I understand. And so, for each individual, it will be a little bit different. And do not compare yourself with others. This is a big mistake that you make. This is a missing the mark, I should say. When you try to compare yourself with someone else's experience, in the first place, it has come through language which distorts it and it has come from their consciousness to yours through the language, and it is not very often that you really understand what another is saying as they have experienced it. So many listen to others' experience and they think, oh, I haven't had that experience. I'm not very far along. And it is working against yourself when you do this. Do not allow yourself to compare yourself with others. Everyone has their own time and their own experience. But the timing, my dear ones, is up to you, moment by moment, day by day, as you think of as time. Does this help your understanding?
There, I would like to ask you more further question. If, for instance, sometimes when I talk to somebody or somebody will ask about a dream and I'll help them interpret it or I'll say something to them, and afterwards when I can't remember what we talked about or what I have done. Would that be an example of it? Because I sometimes think that's just my lack of.
No, it is perhaps coming through you instead of from you. And when you open yourself to help others, just as Donald is doing at this moment, when he opens to be a channel, it is not coming from him, it is coming through him. And you can do this in your day-to-day living with others as they ask for help, or in your conversations, if you will send love, God's love, into the individual, into the situation, and say, Father, make me a channel for you to work through, something like this, then God can speak through you. And many, many times you do not remember what was said, because it was not you that was speaking. Yes. God bless you. Are there other questions at the table?
So many of us, we all have cosmic consciousness, have we not? I mean, if we get back, to stop and think back over our lives, we'll see where we had vivid evidence of cosmic consciousness at times, and then it kind of faded away, yet it's there. Isn't that right?
Well, you all have the understanding of God and all that God understands. You all have it because you are one with God. But as you came down through the many dimensions, you blocked it off a little bit at a time. Each step that you came down, each dimension that you came down, you have blocked it off a little bit more. But that does not mean that you cannot tune into it. That just means that you have to set aside the world. And this is the main topic of tonight's message, is to set aside the world and set aside your belief in the illusions of the world and allow the truth to come through you, to have the realization of your true nature, of your true being, because it is always there. And there are times that you will get insights. And as your teacher has told you, it is good to record these, to write them down, because sometimes you let them slip away in your memory and let your subconscious take the memory of this from you. But when you have these insights and understandings and illuminations, always write them down, record them, and then you can go back over this and add more to it. When you give enough importance to record it, then the doors are open wider and more light can come through for you.
Maybe talk about which the light coming to people. I was on night duty, and I came off duty one morning, and a rosy light covered the whole landscape and everything. It was the most beautiful light imaginable. And it was at a time when I was a little agitated. I wondered if I was a little off my rocker. But I believe that was God's light as much as it. I've always thought that was God.
Yes.
But nobody else spoke of it. I don't think they saw it. I think it was an inward thing.
Yes, it was. And it was God speaking to you and saying, Annabelle, turn loose of the agitation. Turn loose of the world concepts and see the truth and realize your divinity.
Thank you.
Yes. Are there other questions this evening?
I have one.
Yes.
We talked about before, commentary of non-commentary. Your understanding and total is a little bit with difficult. And saying what you were trying to recalibrate the AI or literature is either physical methods or way when it's being pointless to silo, I guess, leave that understanding so that then those are physical, therefore.
Not necessarily. They can stimulate the understanding or the realization within you because they have come through these individuals and have been recorded, and they have been brought down to the physical, and of course they are much less than what you will experience within yourself. But do not hesitate to read the literature that you feel is good for you, or to enjoy a beautiful painting, or a sunset, or whatever, because it is all God, even though we are calling it illusion. It is still coming and is maintained from the individuals who dwell on these planes of illusion, and they are God. So in true reality, there is nothing else but God. But it comes in a distorted way at times. But when you can allow yourself to be open to what the painter or the writer was trying to convey, and ask God to send love and light into your mind and in or around the words or the painting, then you can tune in to what the artist was trying to convey and get from them an illumination that may spark your insight and make it brighter. Does this help your understanding?
Yeah, good breath.
Yes. All is of God. It is neither good or bad. It just is. And when we put labels on things, then we limit. And so whatever we see, whatever we experience, we can gain from it if we are open to see with the inner eye, if we are open to experience what is really behind the outer framework, because there's always something behind the outer form. There is a spirit working through it. And when you can look beyond the form, then you can tune in to the reality of being and gain an insight and understanding. Are there other questions this evening? To gain realization from your incarnation, it is well to check upon yourself at times and see where you feel that you stand in this sojourn that you have moved into in this incarnation, and see if you are living up to your plan. Each of you, with the help of the Lords of Karma, have made a plan for each incarnation, and ask yourself at times, how am I doing? And if you will listen, your higher self will help you to understand where you are missing the mark or where you are living up to your plan, and can gain much from this. It is very valuable for you to have this contact with your inner higher self, the God within you, and have a dialogue going each day and throughout the day. This is a very valuable thing. And even if you just think you are talking to yourself, this is all right, because you are really talking to your higher self. And if you will listen with the inner ear and turn off the noises and the confusion from the planes of illusion, then you will hear the truth, and you will be able to realize where you are and the next step that you should take. Many, many of you have come to your teacher or other teachers and asked, why am I here? What am I to do in this incarnation? My dear ones, the answer is inside of you, and also it is right in front of you. But you must look with the inner eye, the single eye. You must listen with the inner ear. The understanding comes from within, not from without. Things from on the outer can stimulate you into opening up to the inner understanding, but always the real truth comes from within you. So to have the realization of your true being, go within. Do your homework, go to your classes, read the good books, but take time each day to go within. Allow these outer things to stimulate your understanding, to stimulate you into reaching higher, but it will come from within you, the true understanding of your being. Have I sparked another question? As you approach this Christmas season, I would ask you to consider giving a little extra time of sending love, for the masses are a little more open at this time of year. And if you will give of your service to the Father just by being an open channel for His divine love to flow through, and send it out to the world, send it out unlabeled, and to all those who are reaching for help but know not where to look, you will be of great service to many, many that you will never know, but you will be a channel for God to work through. So give this some thought. This is so much more valuable than a thing that you wrap up in a piece of paper. It is good to give gifts because when you feel right about it, it is good because it is an outer symbol of the inner giving. But you can never give anything more valuable than God's love to another. And you can give God's love to the whole world and to the whole universe, for you are not limited. God's love is unlimited, and you can give as much as you desire. Take time as you go through your day, in your busy, busy day. Just take a few moments and send love unlabeled, and then go about whatever you're doing. I tell you, you will be enriched by it, and many, many others will be helped. Are there things that you would like to talk about this evening? Not necessarily that has to do with the class, but other things.
I was just wondering why it is that females have a tendency to accept these ideas quicker than males do. Obviously, there's more females in women than males.
Yes. The nature of the female is to receive, and the nature of the male is to give. You are both male and female, but when you are in a female body, you are more receptive to receiving, and it is easier for you to lay down your pride and come to a meeting like this. It is easier for a female to do this because of their nature of receiving. The male is the giver, and the female is the receiver. Now, do not misunderstand this. You can be both, and you are both. But in the female, they are more open and receptive, and they can influence the male in great ways. It has been said in your language that behind every great man is a woman, and this is true because the leaders have been men in your recent history, and without the inspiration of the female, they would not feel whole and would not be able to have that drive to move forward. But be not concerned about this. It is the nature of your being. You have all been both male and female in different incarnations, and it is just the nature that you are more open as a female. But the males who do come forward, when they feel the driving force within them, they do good work, as well as the females. And just because you are a female, do not think that you cannot be a leader. Do not think that you cannot be an open channel for God to work through in an outward way, because you can. It is up to you to choose to do this or to not do it.
In some incarnations, are we with, and then in another incarnation, are we progressive? Do we take all of those different traits?
This is possible. It depends on the individual, but you did come to this planet to experience all that the planet has to offer. And you allowed yourself to drop down to this level for the experience that this level has to offer. And there are times when you are a hero, and there are times when you are a wimp, as you say. And these are different times. These are different experiences. And you gain from all of it, because the outer experience is not that important. It is how you feel about it when you have experience. It is the inner feeling. It is the inner realization that you have. That is the important thing. And we put labels on things, and sometimes they do not fit. They appear to be a whip or a hero, but sometimes that is just the appearance, the outer appearance. You cannot judge another unless you can live in their consciousness for a while. You cannot truly judge them.
God's type then is in putting in every single one of us.
Yes, it is. The God power is always there. And in your affirmations, in your thoughts, throughout your day, have a chant going, something like, God power, God be with me. Whatever comes to your mind to think, let something be in your mind like this continually while you're going through your day, so that the negative and destructive thoughts that are all around you do not have a chance to enter. Because whenever you think this kind of thought, it throws out a light all around you, and that light does not allow the destructive thoughts to come in or to influence you. It is good to be your own master. It is good to decide what you will be and what you will think, and not be influenced by others, because you are different than anyone in the whole universe, and you should make your own choices. You can follow an example that someone else is, that you see, and see the good in it, but when you do follow it, do it in your own way. Thank you. Yes. Are there other questions this evening? The class tonight may not be as inspiring to you because we have used this word realization a lot, but it is a very important thing, and it is connected with divine light. To have the realization means I understand, and when you bring down the divine light of understanding into your consciousness, when you let it go before you as you go through your day, it will show you the way. It will lighten your path, and it will lighten the load that you carry. I tell you this, my dear ones, you are all on this plane involved with what you call karma, but there is a truth that you must hear, and this truth is that you can lay down all of your karma and walk off and leave it at any moment that you decide to. Now, what does your karma consist of? It consists of your beliefs in the illusions of these lower dimensions. It consists of misinformation that you have. This is what your karma, your negative karma, consists of. This is what is holding you to these lower dimensions. And when you allow the divine love and light of God to come forth and heal these misunderstandings, and this is what causes your physical illness, is the misunderstandings of life. When you allow enough light and love to shine on this place in your consciousness, then you do receive the healing, and the enlightenment comes, the understanding comes and the karma disappears. The load of karma is heavy on many on your plane. In this circle of light, you are learning to turn loose of it. You are learning to lay it down and walk off and leave it. But give this some consideration and give it some thought that you can turn loose of all of your karma if you decide to eliminate your belief in this plane of illusion. It is not easy to do this while you're in the physical body, but if you take some time through your day to go within and ask for God's love and light to show you the way, then you will find the way, and you will find yourself free. Are there other things that you would speak of this evening? It is a beautiful evening, and it's a beautiful time to be with you, and I would have you know that there are many, many here, and that your physical eyes do not see, your teachers and your guides, but many others are attracted to your circle to learn from you. You see, when you are on this side of the veil, your teachers and guides know your hearts. They can see into your hearts. And by this I mean they can see where you are in your consciousness. And as the ones who come to sit in the circle and learn as you are learning from this side of the veil, they see a little bit of this, and they see where you are, and they see how they missed the mark when they were in the physical. And this helps them to understand. And when they reincarnate again, if they do, then this will give them something to work with. It will help to lighten their load of karma. Are there other things that you would speak of this evening? It is a beautiful experience to see from a higher dimension. And I would have you use your inner image at this moment and lift your thoughts to a higher dimension and look down upon this circle of light and see yourself and the others that are in the physical, but just on the outer edges of this are those who have come to learn as you have come to learn. And then above you and around you are your teachers and your guides that are projecting light and love into your consciousness to help you to comprehend what is being said. And then above them are very high beings of light and love, and it moves on up and becomes brighter and brighter as it reaches up toward the Godhead. This circle of light that you have made is a very important thing to all dimensions, from your physical level all the way up to the Godhead. And many, many learn from this, besides the ones that are in the physical. Remember this and send love to them often, for they are here to learn, and they are truly seekers of the truth, as you are. This has been a very pleasant and beautiful experience to be with you this evening, and I would have you to think on these things as you go through your week, and to be open to set aside some time each day to go within and speak with your inner self, the higher self, the God within you, and receive more light and love. God bless you, and good evening. There we go again. And we hold hands on a physical, let it be symbolic of our come together in spirit and bring down the understanding of the light of love and the healing hour of the higher dimension. Let us think of this light and love, feeling all of God's thoughts within us. Let us think of this as cleansing us of all applications. Let us see divine love going around us, circling a great abundance, building up in momentum and power, and going ahead of us and of it week into our every thought, word, and deed, into every situation, into every encounter. And let us think for ourselves and the channel of light and love for God to work through as we go through this critical statement. Thank you, comment.
And on that, I mean, you want to keep that.
You're the one for the city.
You wouldn't, yeah, you could take for that to somebody.
That all the way about.